games like this that make me very happy to run the KSL every week. So thank you guys for continuing to support. I know it's sad news. We're down to just once every other week right now, but appreciate everybody who supports on the Patreon. Check it out if you want to support Korean StarCraft and players like these. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have Dragon Kitesy Gaming's Dark. Many-time champion of the KSL, even more times runner-up of the KSL. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner had a fantastic year at some of the big events, but I don't know how many KSLs he's won, which is the important measure of a good player. It is Cloud9's Gumiho. It is pretty dope to get to say Cloud9's Gumiho, though. I just enjoy that Cloud9 is in StarCraft now. We also had Navi, Natus Vincier, joining the StarCraft teams with picking up Spirit, I believe it was. It's just cool to see those bigger teams from other esports getting into StarCraft or getting back into StarCraft. I hope we see more of that. You know, at DreamHack Atlanta, there was a big crowd for Counter-Strike, but man, the crowd for StarCraft was huge again. It's the same thing that happened last year. It's like it was just massive, and I think even with more chairs this year, by the finals, we needed to bring a bunch of extra chairs over. There were people standing. The event was completely over except for StarCraft, and there was still a few hundred of us in there. I don't know how many chairs there were, but it was that plus like another 50 to 100 people. It was really cool. I love how passionate the StarCraft community is. And I think people are excited for new RTSs coming out. Like I really feel like there's a lot of genuine hype and excitement just over other RTSs to play and to try to get good at. And even if people feel like, oh, maybe they're not as good at StarCraft or no, I'd rather play StarCraft, that's totally fine. There's just so many options. And you don't have to play StarCraft 8 hours a day. If you're like a StarCraft content creator, you can mix in some Zero Space, some Stormgate, and just have a variety. And how cool is that? It's not something we get in RTS very often. But speaking of variety here, Dark going for some early link pressure. I guess Gumiho didn't build a Reaper, right? This was Marines first. So the Link's trying to take advantage of that. They are going to have to run away from the Hellions that are popping out, though. But it's just a single Hellion at a time, as the barracks built a tech lab instead of a reactor, and I assume that's for the starport. This is a very interesting build from Gumiho. He does have a third CC behind this. So this is nothing particularly crazy, but this is the kind of thing I love Gumiho for. This feels like basically the same build that we just saw Coffee do. It's very common for Terrans, but hold the phone here as Dark is going to try to get on top of this. He is going to force a cancel on that supply depot. Some great positioning from Gumiho, though, is going to make it really hard for these Links to get on top of this, but they are going to kill one Hellion. They're going to kill those Marines. The second Hellion is going to go down. A couple SCVs going to try to escape into the main. They will get in there, but 5 workers going down. Gumiho forced to lift the natural, and Dark, this early investment of Lings really working out for him, and kind of working the opposite way of what I expected this build to work like. In that it ended up hurting Gumiho more than helping him because he didn't go for the reactored Hellions to open up like most Terrans would, and instead just went for a couple of single production Hellions. He just didn't have enough to defend that. I was just saying it's very exciting to see him go for something so common, but just a little bit off kilter. That's kind of the Gumiho thing, right? They'll do the less standard version of a build and maybe catch Dark off guard, but seemed to bite him in the butt here as Dark went for a lot of Lings, and those extra couple of Hellions that would have been about to pop out with the reactored factory build would have been real nice. Been real nice to have. Gumiho, though, At the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. 5 SCVs is not a ton. It was a big investment for Dark. And while he has droned up quite a bit behind it, those drones are a lot later than normal. So they haven't really paid for themselves just yet. The big problem here for Gumiho, he really has no pressure across the map. He's got these 2 Banshees, which Dark is so insanely prepared for. But he's not going to have any other pressure for a while, right? He's got to wait for Marines to come out, wait for Medevacs to come out, wait for Stim to be done, and then maybe he can have a little bit of pressure. But that's given Dark so much time. Dark is going to go up to 70 workers here in a minute. I assume he's going to start putting a 4th base down as soon as he can push these Banshees away. And Dark's just in a great spot. He's just in a great spot right now from that early game. Gumiho's 3rd is on location, though. So he's going to be able to just keep pumping out SCVs. Triple Mule should be able to have a decently competitive mineral mining to Dark. But he really needs to get some pressure on him. The Banshees just, they're not cutting the mustard. Gumiho's got to get out there with some Marines and Medevacs. You hope DreamHack Dallas is as busy as DreamHack Atlanta was. So do I. My concern for Dallas is that it's a bit further away from Europe. So I don't know if we'll see quite as many. I don't know how many like European visitors went to Atlanta. But Dallas, you know, it's another like leg of the trip. You can kind of fly to Atlanta from most major airports in Europe. So it makes it a bit of an easier trip for European viewers or even some of the players that might struggle to get there to Dallas. But I'm still very excited for Dallas in May. Now, Gumiho has decided to put that pressure on. There are quite a few Lings and Banes here for Dark, though, and Gumiho's got to be ready for that. He's pushing forward with the Banshees that are covered by the siege tanks. Overseer popping now, so these Banshees got to be a little careful. Dark is being very patient. He's waiting with these Lings and Banes to try to push this back. Oh, and the tanks are getting jumped on by the Queens. 2 Queens going to go down, but the tanks, they're firing on the Queens, which means they're not firing on the Banelings, and that means all of this is going to go down. There's not even any Medevacs to pick these up. Oh, excuse me. The Medevacs, they were on their way, but they stopped part way. And Dark absolutely clears all of that. Gumiho getting a little bit of value there. Getting some kills. But ultimately, I think that ends up being a little bit better for Dark. Yeah, trade-wise, it's better for Gumiho, but Gumiho's got to keep this pressure on. Or Dark's economy is going to just get out of control. I will say the economy is very similar now, but Dark has used that superior economy he had earlier to get up into a hive, so his tech is very far ahead of where Gumiho's is right now. But the supplies are very close, and Gumiho is keeping this pressure on. He's got a triple drop here, and he's just going to try to pull Dark out of position. The fact that Gumiho doesn't have anything else on the map, though, makes this a lot less scary for Dark. He can just chase this. Even as the tank siege is up here, this is not that scary. I don't think Dark realizes exactly where this is, but... Oh, he's sending a bunch of Lings to the north side and just leaving some of the Lings and Banes back at home here. I don't know if he knows about this little move out. Gumiho does not have Medevacs with this. This is such a daring move out. And by daring, I mean this is just going to die, I think. It might trade decently efficiently here, but that's it. That's just a bunch of dead Marines because they decided not to have a Medevac. If Gumiho just waited for these 2 Medevacs to pop out, I think he's totally fine there. But now Dark just handles those Marines on the top of the map. This has ended up doing nothing as Gumiho is pulling all of the Marines back up. It's just this 1 tank and the 2 Marines down here. As Gumiho moves everything else to the top side. Dark burrows a couple of Banelings. He is one of the players that loves to do that. Now, of course, Gumiho is going to be on alert for it, though, as he caught those first couple. Dark still hasn't handled this. And ooh, that was dangerous. Close to a big Baneling shot there, but Dark too quick, pulls back the Banes, and he will kill this. Clears out those rocks as well, and that's going to make getting a potential surround on this army from Gumiho quite a bit easier. Gumiho's got to be careful here. Got a couple Widow Mines burrowing forward. Draws out one of the Widow Mine shots with just a few Banelings. Really nicely done by Dark. As Gumiho pushes in, he's going to force a cancel on that gold, but Dark bringing units over from the other side of the map as well. Oh, Dark's got so much stuff here. Gumiho, he's caught in between a full 360 surround, and he has to lift up and get out of there. Ooh, the parasitic bomb, though. The Viper is coming out here, and that is going to force Gumiho back instead of deeper into Dark's territory. Dark's just going to keep on pushing. He's like, hold the phone. I don't need to stop here, actually. Widowmine gets a massive shot on the Banelings as the rest of these bio units drop out. I love the Marauder slow on the Baneling. It just rolls significantly slower than it was earlier. Gumiho going to take that 5th base. Probably morph it into a planetary sometime soon. He has not mined this out, though, so he doesn't really have a good way to defend it right now. I guess he's just going to kill these rocks, try to utilize that. But Lings and Bane's going to hit on the top side where Gumiho is just not paying attention right now. He has no units up here. The Ling's going to go ahead and get the surround. And then, oh, the Banelings coming in. They don't quite get that final shot on the SCVs. Only 2 SCVs going down here. But the planetary dies. Gumiho going to try to push on the other side of the map at the same time, though. And he's forcing a cancel on the gold. And he's just going to keep on pushing into Dark. A lot of Marines and Marauders here. Dark has to be very careful engaging against this and make sure those Banelings hit the correct targets. The Marauders are sitting out front. Blinding Clouds here could be pretty nice, but it looks like we're going to see more Parasitic Bombs on the Medivacs. Just try to get the kills on those healing units. Oh, at the same time, Lings and potentially some Banes getting in here. 23 SCVs going down. So now Gumiho needs to get some damage done. He needs to do more than just trade at these units. There's 85 drones for Dark. Gumiho needs to kill some of those. He is supply blocked, under 140 supply back at home right now. And Dark has Ultras on the way. And it looks like Dark is going to be able to push this back with the Lings, the Banes, the Ultras, and the Queens. Even these Widow Mines going to get cleaned up. This final Ling will finally get cleaned up as well. But that was 2 dead drones there, and that is not enough for Gumiho. And now Dark, he's on the counteroffensive. He held until he was able to get to these big daddy Ultras. And while this engagement is going excellently for Gumiho, I still feel like there might be too much for Dark. He's going to roll in with the Banelings and take out a lot of this bio. Gumiho continuing to stay out here and continuing to try to hold. Now stimming backwards, maybe heading towards this planetary. He's under 100 supply. Gumiho is fighting for his life right now. But I feel like Dark has taken too much of a lead. Dark is just, he's just got like an Ultra and 2 Lings running over here. He's going to pull everything back. And I think for Dark here, you just spend all your money, get up to maybe max, maybe not even quite max, and just try to go again. Gumiho, though, immediately putting pressure back on, forces another cancel on this base, which I think was misplaced, so maybe that works out a little bit there for Dark. Dark trying to go for a run by. He sees that this base has not been retaken. Instead, Gumiho decided to take this one, and man, he is muling the crap out of it. Look at this mule hammer just pulling the income back up for Gumiho. It's insane. Uh-oh, these Ultras all on their own, and a bunch of bio going to try to catch them. It looks like 1 Ultra will go down for that. Same time, some Lings get in. They do get a couple of SCV kills, but not too many, just the 2. The Lings burrow, at least force a scan. Oh, and on the bottom side of the map, though, the Lings, Banes, and Ultras pushing back Gumiho's army. Oh, the Banelings, though, getting in on those SCVs. And now we've got units on the front, units on the back, but Gumiho sees there's no Banelings, and he's more than happy to take that fight in his nice little nook he had there. 10 SCVs do go down. The 2 Infestors, though. The 2 Infestors, the giant Fungals, catch the whole army, and Gumiho taps out immediately. Oh, man, Dark putting an exclamation point on the end of that game. A hard-fought game. Gumiho fighting for his life for a huge portion of that game. But, man, those two fungals were huge. What a way to end that game, Dark. Damn. I love Dark's little roaming infestors. I did see those infestors on the production tab. I didn't get a chance to mention them. They just came in right at the absolute correct moment. Dark was certainly ahead in that game, but Gumiho was still taking some good, like, cost-efficient fights. He had that fresh base that he was mule hammering. He had the gold. Gumiho, there's certainly a path where he's able to get back in that game. If he keeps taking efficient fights, maybe forces some more cancels on bases, or is able to get in there with a drop or something. With Dark, just end it. Just ending it. Am I going to DreamHack Dallas? There's a very good chance I'm going to DreamHack Dallas. I think it's highly likely. I'm going to give it a highly likely right now. I haven't bought any tickets or anything. Actually, that reminds me. I saw that Kathy and Joey were getting an Airbnb. I might message them and see about joining their house. But yeah, there's a very good chance. I've never been to Dallas. I would like to go to Dallas. I am a Cowboys fan. I don't talk about football all that often on this channel, but I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life, so I feel like it'd be cool to go to Dallas. I've been to Texas, but I was only in Houston for a few days in that area. But I think it'd be fun to go to Dallas. Somewhere different. I'd love to go to more StarCraft events too. So any excuse to travel for StarCraft. Plane tickets will be pretty cheap. Lodging should be fairly cheap. May 31st to June 2nd in Dallas, I would imagine. So yeah, I think there's a very good chance. Very good chance I get to Dallas. Cowboys fan. Yeah, JW, that's the appropriate response. Listen, I understand, okay? I understand if you need to unsub, unfollow, and leave this channel because I said I'm a Cowboys fan. There's a reason I don't talk about it very often. But it's just a part of my life. You know, we all have our failings, and that's one of mine. But all right, let's get into game number 2 here. We're on Solaris and spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Dragon Kites Gaming's Dark. Words are hard. Going for a pull first. Nice cheeky pull first here from Dark. I love it. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner, it is Cloud9's Gumiho. And he's going for the 2 racks Reaper opening. I like this a lot. I like this especially against the pool first, I think. Having those early Reapers out against Dark, who is getting a gas, so I guess his link speed won't be that delayed or anything. Sometimes the pool first goes into like a gasless follow-up, which means no link speed for like 100 years. And that can be really dicey against this kind of opening, but I love these guys changing up the builds, trying to catch each other off guard. Oh, Dark's going for a Roach Warren. Okay. This was the other option for Dark. Now I like this for Dark, I think. Reaper's not great against Roaches. It's only going to be a few Roaches, though. Actually, Reapers can do okay against, like, 2 or 3 Roaches. So this ends up being a weird position here. I'm excited to see how these players handle it. Part of me thinks Dark just defends with the Roaches and takes like no damage from the Reapers, and that's his trade-off for this early game opening, is he should be able to just keep these Roaches at home if he wants to. It's like the perfect defense against a Reaper opening. Gumiho's going to get in with the first Reaper. He's not going to spot the Roach Warren or these Roaches popping, though, and that is an unfortunate scout there for Gumiho that he doesn't see it. But now Dark's going to have these Roaches out just ready and waiting for the Reapers to dive in a little too far. It looks like they're going to come out to play and try to help this Queen out. I think that's, what, 5 roaches here in total for Dark. He could morph some Ravagers, but he's got to wait for quite a bit of gas to be able to do that. And Gumiho's just going to put down a bunker and try to get into a tech lab as the Reapers try to keep these roaches back a little bit. I like that Gumiho's poking and prodding again at these roaches. Dark can morph some Ravagers, but he doesn't have the gas for it right now. He's going to try to stop this tech lab from researching concussive shells. As the first Marauder is already on the way. Second one is queued up. I think it will be able to start here. Oh, hold on. No, it will not. It will not be able to start. It's only one Marauder getting out. No concussive shells here for Gumiho. Dark not finding a ton of damage here, but he's just trying to keep Gumiho back. Another Ravager morphing, just trying to poke and prod at these. Ooh, the Marauder and the Marine's going to dive out of that bunker and jump on top of this. The Ravager will go down, but it looks like most of the Reaper is going to go down as well. And now it's just down to one Ravager versus one Marauder. And these two very low Reapers. One gets taken out. The second one gets taken out. The grenade gets dodged. Can Dark get out of there? Dark! He's got 3 hit points. Oh, it goes down. Dark gets caught on the corner. Dang. Well, a little bit of trade there. Let's take a look. The resources lost is dead even. Wow. All right, well, I guess things are very even in this game then. Dark committed a lot to that opening, and Gumiho lost enough, I think, to justify it for Dark. Dark is able to kind of freely drone for a while here. He is building some roaches, which is a little surprising to me since Gumiho just, like, he can't have much, right? So I feel like Dark is building these roaches just in case Gumiho has a bunch, but no, maybe not, because he's got 6 roaches and now a bunch of lings on the way. Ling speed's about halfway done. I think Dark's about to all in. He is double expanding off the back of this, though, so I guess he's like 2 base, air quotes, all-inning? I don't know. I don't know, dude. This is Dark. He's double expanding while building nothing but units. It's just such a classic Dark move. You wouldn't expect it, and that's why it might work. Gumiho keeping this bunker, though, is huge. He does not trust Dark not to just attack him. I think that's smart. Because Dark's about to just attack him. A lot of roaches. Ravagers being morphed here. Lings running across the map. The double base is popping as well. It's going to give Dark a lot more larva production. To just keep building units if that's what he wants to do. And it looks like that is what he wants to do. Is the Ravagers are going to start poking down this wall. And Gumiho doesn't really have much to deal with this. He's trying to get out Medivacs, but I feel like he should have gone for those Banshees. SCV's here for repair. They can keep this bunker alive for now. Dark doesn't have enough Ravagers to take it out just yet. There's quite a bit of bio, but they're not going to have stim. They're not going to have combat shields. But wait, hold on. They already have stim. That's a big stim there from Gumiho. The SCV's coming off the line to help out as the Lings get pushed back. A lot of SCVs going down. I don't think there's enough here for Gumiho. The Medivacs are out. That can help heal up these Marines and Marauders with the stim. 22 SCVs have gone down. If Gumiho can hold, though, it'll be okay, but that's a big if. And Gumiho is forced to GG. Dark will get the 2-0 victory. Damn, dude. Dark, he's just got that killer instinct. The Roach opening, doing a decent amount of damage, but what would you not expect after that? Just, he has the opportunity to drone, and Dark doesn't take it. Instead, he builds a bunch of units and just goes for the throat. Gumiho gets taken out. GG.